My own mother sent me to a monastery. When I came back down the mountain 15 years later, my stepmother and stepsister had taken over my home. They said I'd spent all those years learning God-bothering nonsense and was an embarrassment to the family. My father is not human. No matter what, he's still your father. How can you say that about him? Get out of this house. I looked at the dark shadows clouding their faces. In 7 days, you'll be on your knees begging me to come back. They just sneered, their faces masks of arrogance as they tossed my luggage out the door. 2 days later, I went live for a stream and happened to connect with both of them. They were on their knees, banging their heads on the floor 100 times, begging me to save them. Their faces were filled with terror. Your dad, he's really not human. I was broke, kicked out of my own home. I had no choice but to try and make money by live streaming. I started a channel, fortune telling and divination, $500 a session. It was a niche category to begin with, and as a newbie, I only had a handful of viewers. Then I got a request to go live with Chloe White, who had her mother, Brenda, standing right next to her. Suddenly, my viewer count exploded. Brenda, you've brought your little scam show to the internet now? You're dragging the Shaw family name through the mud. Chloe added, Mom is just trying to look out for you, Nina. Stop doing things that are bad for your karma. This is the 21st century. You should believe in science. We're willing to forgive the disrespectful things you said about us and your father the other day. I was about to mute the two phonies, but then I saw the viewer count skyrocketing. They were all here for Chloe, and the chat was a waterfall of love for her. Chloe White was a massive influencer with tens of millions of followers. She was also my stepsister. She and her mother had married into the Shaw family 2 years ago, while I had been living in a monastery for 15 years, only allowed to leave when I turned 18. The moment I'd walked through the door 2 days ago, I knew something was wrong. The house was thick with a negative aura. Someone was raising a demonic spirit. If they had just been a little kinder to me, I would have helped them. But they were afraid I'd try to take their inheritance, so the first thing they did was kick me out, mocking my simple clothes and telling me to get lost. Just then my father came home. The dark energy clinging to him was suffocating. He didn't even glance at me as he walked into the Shaw family mansion. My father isn't human. The black aura around him was so dense I couldn't even sense a human presence. He could no longer be called a person. I feared the malevolent spirit in the mansion was his creation. When the Hungry Ghost Festival arrived, the gates of the underworld would open, and at the peak of the negative energy, it would demand 2 living souls. Feeding the spirit would grant him the service of a powerful demon. Having been sent away so young, my memories of my parents were faint. But I vaguely remembered my father as a good man in my childhood. What could have happened to make him start raising a demon? No matter what, he's still your father. How can you say that about him? Get out of this house. I looked at the black miasma swirling around both of their foreheads, the mark of impending death. You've got a shadow hanging over you, I told them. In 7 days, you'll be on your knees begging me to come back. They scoffed and threw my suitcase out, saying if they ever asked for my help, they'd kowtow to me 100 times on the spot. After they kicked me out, I had just enough money to rent a single room. With nothing left for food, I had to start a live stream to make a living. I looked at their faces on my screen and shook my head. The black aura over your heads has gotten even thicker. It looks like your time is almost up. You should probably start getting your affairs in order. Brenda's face darkened with anger, but she put on a show, dabbing at fake tears. I suppose I can't blame you. Your mother never taught you any better. But let me tell you, it's not right for a young girl to be cursing people. If you're really that broke, we can send you some money. Just stop with this scam. After years of monastic life, it took more than that to get under my skin. I just gave a scornful little laugh. A stepmother who threw me out the second I got home had the gall to lecture me. It doesn't look like you two need a reading, so I'm going to connect with someone who does. I muted their mics but didn't kick them from the stream. I needed the viewers, after all. The platform let you stream with 2 people at once anyway. Finally, someone else was willing to connect. A man appeared on screen, his face a mask of disbelief. Hey, you look younger than me. How dare you disrespect my goddess, Chloe? Watch me expose you. If you want a reading, pay up. If not, don't waste my time. Fine. He immediately sent me 3 crown gifts. On this platform, a crown was worth $200, but the platform took half, leaving me with just $300. I said wire transfer, not gifts. He started to argue, but I cut him off. It's your first time, so I'll let it slide. Now what do you want to know? If you're so amazing, you should already know what my problem is. I stared at his face and fell silent. The whites of his eyes were yellow, he had dark circles, and his hands were trembling slightly. It was a classic case of overindulgence, coupled with a deep red glow between his brows that was already starting to turn black. The demonic energy had sunk in deep. Seeing me stay quiet for so long, Brenda started stirring things up in the live chat. Brenda. Nina, you should just admit it. You don't know anything about fortune telling. You should come home and go back to school. Lying to people isn't right, and if you end up hurting someone, that's a serious sin. Looks like she can't come up with anything. I was actually getting my hopes up. She didn't see this one coming. She's totally clammed up. This fortune telling is just like pop psychology. They read your expression, ask a few leading questions, and give a vague answer. If it's even close, you trick yourself into believing it. What a phony. And she dared to be rude to our goddess. Serves her right. I'm reporting her. Get this channel banned. Have you been sleeping like a log every night for the past month? I asked. Impossible to wake up, and always having steamy dreams? In the dreams, it's your goddess, isn't it? And you feel completely drained afterward. At first, you probably enjoyed it, but lately, you've noticed you're getting weaker and weaker. You can't even carry a 20-pound bag of rice up 4 flights of stairs without getting winded. The man's face went from beet red to deathly pale. He looked up at me, stunned, his voice trembling. How did you know? What's happening to me? You've run into a succubus. Another 10 days of this, and your life force will be completely drained. You'll be dead. I leaned back in my rocking chair, swaying gently. What? ASUC succubus? But I'm a guy. Who said they only go after women? 4 lustful guys like you. They use your dreams to make it easier to drain your life force. Think hard. Where did you touch something you shouldn't have? This is a good act. Where'd they hire this actor? Look at those bags under his eyes and how pale he is. He really does look like he's been overdoing it. TMI people. This isn't the content I signed up for. I'm out. The host is pretty hot. She should just become a regular streamer. Sing, dance, say a few sweet things to the guys paying, she'd make bank. Money? For having a wet dream? A succubus, really? What a load of crap. I dream about my goddess all the time. Seeing his clueless expression, I prompted him. Did someone contact you about a month ago? Yes. My cousin invited me over for dinner. It all started after that night. See? It's an act. That's a classic actor's line. They even had to feed it to him. Totally. If she really figured it out, I'll eat my hat. I was just being lazy and trying to keep it brief, but I didn't realize he was this dense. I did that on purpose. He came in here insulting me, so I figured I'd let him stew in his fear for a bit. I had dinner at my cousin's place and ended up sleeping over in his room. That's when the dream started. When I woke up, I saw this painting in his room, a portrait of a beautiful court lady. It was gorgeous. He told me it was a special painting from a great master that lets you meet immortals in your dreams. He said it was a real treasure. After a lot of haggling, I spent $3,000 to buy it from him. At this point, his face twisted with rage, and he gritted his teeth. He did it on purpose. He invited me over just to trick me into that dream. I thought I was meeting an immortal, but it was a damn succubus. He didn't just want to kill me, he wanted my money too. It must be because we work at the same company and I just got a promotion. He's jealous and afraid of looking bad to the family back home, so he used this twisted method to try and kill me. These toxic relatives are terrifying. I need to cut ties with petty people like him. Everyone in the chat is an actor, and you actually believe this, you idiot. His tone softened considerably. With a fawning smile, he asked me, Master, what should I do? He had you sleep there and put a drop of your blood on the painting. allowing the succubus to find you in your dreams through your aura. Burn the painting, bury the ashes under a willow tree, and put a few drops of your blood on the trunk while chanting. By heaven's decree, the path is sealed. From shadow born, to shadow returned. In darkness bound, through spirit found. Let poison blood and wicked soul be banished from my sight. Let those who watch me be struck blind. Those who hear me be struck deaf. May any who plot against me suffer their own evil fate. I walk in light, they fall to blight. That's it. The blood offering will cost you 2 years of your life, but you do the math. Die in 10 days or lose 2 years. From now on, you need to spend more time outside absorbing the world's natural positive energy to replenish your life force. What's that? Get more sun. I'll do it right now. I hope I can finally get a good night's sleep. I guess some fantasies aren't worth it. More hocus pocus. If you're so good, tell me tomorrow's lottery numbers. I've been wanting to get rich overnight for a long time. That part about the blood sounds pretty convincing. So if I run into something unclean next time, can I handle it the same way? The lottery is considered unearned wealth. I don't deal with that. There are many kinds of ghosts, so the methods differ. If it happens again, you know who to call. Alright, time for the next person. I disconnected from the man and started a new connection. This time, it was a girl who looked about my age, 17 or 18, with smoky blue hair. You're that good? Where did you train? The Celestial Order. Holy crap, for real? The Celestial Order is the most powerful Taoist school right now. They're officially recognized by the government. High-level officials have even hired them to solve things a few times. She looks like she's only 18. If she's really from the Celestial Order, no wonder she's so powerful. But she only charges $500 for a reading. Just getting a junior disciple from the Celestial Order costs over $1,000. Damn it, so I got ripped off. I'll just call it a grand opening discount. That old master of mine, he always said we cultivators should see money as dirt. Turns out he was just screwing me over. The girl I was streaming with burst out laughing. The Celestial Order has never accepted female disciples. I'm Haley and my dad is Master Evans, the 4th disciple of the Celestial Order. Brenda. Busted. This girl was indeed Master Evans' daughter. I'd seen her at a banquet once. And Master Evans was an officially recognized member of the Celestial Order, the current head of the Taoist Council. An appearance from him cost 6 figures. I knew she was full of it. She's about to get called out. His own daughter is exposing the fake. How can she be wrong? Nina Shaw is dead meat for daring to impersonate the Celestial Order. To the guy from earlier, don't believe her. Her method might attract something even worse. She doesn't know a thing and dares to perform exorcisms. She's asking for karmic retribution. Brenda, you'd better get on your knees and apologize. Maybe the Taoist Council will let you off this once. Even through the screen, I could see the sheer delight in Brenda and Chloe's eyes. I calmly said to Haley, "Your dad is about to yell at you." Haley was clearly unconvinced. Still pretending? Well, my dad happens to be home today. I'll go get him to expose you himself. With that, she left her room to find Master Evans. I had heard of Master Evans but never met him. He was considered one of the most talented disciples in the Celestial Order. In terms of rank, that would make me his junior master. My own master had practically begged to take me as his disciple, saying my aptitude was off the charts. I was only 3 at the time and was bribed with a stick of candied fruit. Haley dragged Master Evans into the frame. He was a man in his 40s, wearing a yellow silk jacket, with an air of righteousness about him. He sat down, his tone polite but clearly displeased. Whatever school you're from, you should have claimed a different one. We don't accept female disciples. Don't think that knowing a few exorcism chants makes you a true Taoist. Niece, would you care to see what I'm holding? I pulled a token from my pocket that my master had given me before I left the mountain. I couldn't read the script on it, but it was engraved with a picture of our monastery. Is she insane? Calling Master Evans nephew? She must be crazy to be this calm. Brenda. Master Evans, she's just a child who doesn't know any better. If you must punish someone, please don't let it affect the family. Master Evans glanced at the token in my hand, and his eyes widened. He shot to his feet and bowed deeply. Sect leader. I felt like I was holding a hot potato and tossed the token onto the table. That old man had tricked me. He'd said that anyone in the Taoist Council would treat this token with the utmost respect, and that I should use it to get help if I was ever truly desperate. I never imagined he'd secretly given me the sect leader's medallion. You are the Grand Master's final disciple, our junior master. It was my ignorance not to recognize you. I didn't know you had come down from the mountain. Please allow me to send you a gift as an apology. With that, he sent me 20 kingdom gifts, each worth $1,000. This nephew knows how to make amends. A master is a master. A 6-figure apology right off the bat. I wish I had superpowers too. Well, I'll be damned. That's a real eye-opener. That really is Master Evans from the Celestial Order. He was just bowing, I wasn't seeing things. This is a real master. The face that got slapped was mine. Man, that stings. I'm the guy who was haunted by the succubus. I did what she said, and I instantly felt lighter. I just ran 2 laps and my legs don't feel weak at all. This girl has some serious connections. How could she get Master Evans to be her shill? Which media company is trying to promote this new streamer? Master, connect with me. I'm begging for a reading. Dad, you always said the rules forbid female disciples. That's why you never let me join the Celestial Order. The rules were set by the Grand Master, and he can do as he pleases. If you had the talent, he might have broken the rules for you too. I tell you every day to spend less time on your phone and computer. Look at you. School's about to start, and your college entrance exams aren't far off. Why aren't you doing some practice tests? Haley trudged out of the room, defeated. Master Evans' gaze then fell on Brenda's room. His brow furrowed. He pointed at a painting behind Brenda, his voice grave. Move aside. Let me see that painting behind you. After looking at it, he just shook his head. When Brenda and Chloe heard him, their faces went pale, their mouths opening and closing without a sound. I unmuted Brenda's microphone. Brenda asked nervously, "Is there something wrong with the painting?" There's a malevolent spirit hidden in the painting. The artwork itself is a soul-devouring formation, and it's complete. I'm afraid souls have already been sacrificed to it, and it's just waiting for the last 2. As soon as the Hungry Ghost Festival begins and the gates of the underworld open, a living sacrifice will make the spirit 100 times stronger than usual, and the one who raised it will become a powerful dark sorcerer. Brenda was still skeptical. Master Evans, you have a reputation to uphold. You can't just make things up to help your junior master. My husband bought this painting at an auction a long time ago. How can it be some soul-devouring formation? As a man of status, Master Evans was clearly annoyed by her doubts. He looked at her and spoke bluntly. If you look at the painting horizontally, the flowers and birds cluster together to form the Chinese character for ghost in the center. I screenshotted it and he's right. It's really there. And the longer I look at it, the more unsettled I feel. Isn't Stephen Shaw a legitimate businessman? He even donates to charity. Why would he have something so terrifying? A ghost raiser becoming a sorcerer, this is too wild. Is this some kind of paranormal script? Are they going to have a ghost pop out, like a gaming streamer scripting a match to get people to watch every day? Your forehead is sunken, you have a horizontal line between your brows, and your lips are turning purple. The demonic energy has already spread throughout your body. This is the face of someone who will die a violent death. And it's not just you, your daughter looks the same. Within 3 days, you will face a bloody disaster. Combined with the soul-devouring formation behind you, I'm afraid you too are the living sacrifices. Hearing the words living sacrifices, Brenda and Chloe turned deathly white, muttering, "How is that possible? It can't be." Seeing they were still in denial, I spoke up. "Have you ever seen him place offerings in front of the painting, or say anything to it?" Brenda, "No." Think carefully. The offerings would be on a cycle, probably once a week. Chloe thought for a moment and her face grew even paler. "Yes, Mom. I've seen it. The painting is usually in the living room, but one time when we went out shopping, I forgot my phone and went back to get it. I saw Dad hang the painting in his room with a bowl of red liquid in front of it. He said it was his herbal medicine, so I didn't think much of it. But now that I think about it, the smell wasn't like medicine. It was more like blood, a kind of metallic tang. He asked me why I came back, and after I grabbed my phone, I saw his reflection in the screen. The way he was looking at me was terrifying. He told me to remember to knock next time I entered his room. Brenda remembered something too. She usually drank a glass of milk and slept straight through the night. But once, she was sick and the smell of milk made her nauseous, so she didn't drink it. Delirious with fever, she heard Stephen muttering things like, "When is it almost time, and I'll be able to let you out soon?" She was so exhausted she fell back asleep, assuming he was talking in his sleep. Before she married him, she had never been such a heavy sleeper. Were there sleeping pills in the milk? Their faces filled with terror as the pieces they had never connected before clicked into place. Your dad, he's really not human. That succubus story from before sounded fake, but hearing it from Master Evans is terrifying. It's late at night now. I'm a little scared to go to sleep. I know that painting. It's a famous landscape painting that's been passed through several sellers. It's always been highly valued on the market. The more I watch, the more this feels like a publicity stunt. Master Evans said, "If you know that, then you should also know that it's been passed around because no one who bought it has had a good end. Every single one of them ended up with their family destroyed, and the luckiest ones only ended up in a vegetative state. No one could suppress it, not even Caleb Thorne. He was the one who disappeared right after buying this painting. I never expected it to resurface." Caleb Thorne was the previous president of the Taoist Council. He went missing 15 years ago. I'm starting to get scared. Can't we just burn it, drop some blood, and say a chant like with that other painting? This is a demon that's been around for decades. The method from before only works on newly formed ghosts. Do you think that would work? Trying to suppress a demon this powerful is impossible. You'd be killed instantly. Brenda and Chloe were so scared they burst into tears. Master Evans, I'm so sorry for what I said. Please, I'm begging you, save us. Please. You're not cultivators, so it's understandable that you don't know, but, Master Evans let out a long sigh. I'm no match for it. I'd have to find my master. But he's always wandering, and it would take at least a week to find him. The Hungry Ghost Festival begins after midnight tomorrow. There's not enough time. Then he looked at me. Perhaps my junior master has a way. When they both turned their gazes to me, their embarrassment was palpable. They hadn't forgotten how they'd kicked me out of the house just 2 days ago. I rocked back and forth in my chair a few times. I have a way. Nina. I held up a hand to cut her off. Don't say another word. First, make good on your promise. If you wanted my help, you said you'd give me 100 kowtows. That's too cruel. 100 times? Their heads will be bleeding. This streamer is so vicious. Just because she has skills doesn't mean she can bully people like that. It's about saving your life. What's 100 kowtows? Ida do 1,000. Chloe, my goddess, don't believe her. We'll pay to find you another master. Even Master Evans said he can't handle it. What kind of expert do you think you can find? You'd need at least 6 figures just to get started. Are you really gonna pay? You don't even have a basic member badge on the platform. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. I'm signing off. You can find someone else. Master Evans already paid for my living expenses, so whether I stream or not is entirely up to my mood. Brenda dropped to her knees. Chloe was still reluctant, but Brenda pulled her down too. Go on. Make sure you do all 100. I'll be counting. And while you're at it, explain what you did. They had no choice but to confess everything they had done 2 days prior. Vicious stepmom. I can't believe it. On her streams, Chloe acts like she's so kind she wouldn't even hurt an animal. She's so heartless. The streamer is a saint for even considering helping them. 100 is too few. I can handle my favorite celebrities having scandals, but now my favorite influencer too? Just as they finished the 100th kowtow, a door opened. A man in a tailored black suit with gold-rimmed glasses walked in. He was in his 40s with fine lines around his eyes, and had the air of a gentle, refined academic. Stephen Shaw was home. He looked at Brenda and Chloe. What are you two doing kneeling on the floor? Oh crap, they're busted. Is he going to go berserk and kill them to shut them up? He looks so refined. Is he really raising a demon? He should look shifty and sleazy, not like this. I am a good person, a meme quote. He perfectly embodies the term a wolf in sheep's clothing. Brenda was frozen in place, on the verge of tears. They're on a video call with me, begging me to come back, I said, having already muted Master Evan's mic. Now it looked like we were on a private video call, with the chat scrolling by. See? Their foreheads are all bruised. Brenda wasn't completely clueless and immediately picked up the cue. That's right, Stephen. She's your daughter after all. It's not right for her to be living outside. We should bring her home. She said if we kowtowed 100 times, she'd come back. We're almost there, just 3 more to go. Brenda quickly did the last 3. Stop being difficult and come home. For the first time, Stephen Shaw's eyes landed on me, as if looking at a stranger. He said flatly, "You've grown up. Don't be so willful. A good stepmother like Brenda is hard to find." They begged me. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Stephen looked away and went upstairs. Once he was out of sight, Brenda's body went limp, and she collapsed to the floor. Can't you come back tonight? We're so scared. No. Don't worry, you're safe for tonight at least. You've been safe for 2 years, which proves the spell is most effective on the night of the Hungry Ghost Festival. But you'd better be good actors. If he figures it out, who knows if he'll change his plans. Also, you haven't paid my fee. I sent them a payment link. Only after the money came through did I end the call. This was for kicking me out on day 1. They deserved to be scared for a night. Before I signed off, another wave of gifts flooded the stream. People were frantically demanding I broadcast the whole thing tomorrow. I checked my account balance. I had already made over $15,000 from the gifts alone. Of course I was going to stream it. At noon, the Shaw family driver picked me up and took me back to the mansion. I started a silent live stream on the way, and 2,000 people flooded in the moment I went live. Stephen Shaw was home. The second I walked in, Brenda rushed over and hugged me like a long-lost daughter. In contrast, Stephen sat on a chair, his expression completely indifferent. Brenda whispered in my ear, "He didn't go to work today, and he won't let us leave. He said it's a rare family reunion, and seems determined to keep us all trapped in this house. Just stay calm." I gently pushed her away and sat down across from Stephen. "Dad, how did Mom pass away?" "She accidentally fell down the stairs 2 years ago. We rushed her to the hospital, but she had excessive bleeding in her head, and they couldn't save her." "Why did Mom decide to send me to the monastery?" "We met a master who said that if you went to the monastery, you would achieve great things and it would keep you safe. He said you couldn't come down the mountain until you were 18, or your life would be in danger." That part matched what my master had told me. However, when my master met my mother all those years ago, he said she was destined for a long and prosperous life. She shouldn't have passed away at only 41. What had happened to the Shaw family back then? Get some rest. We're having a family dinner tonight. I have to join a video conference. After he left, I watched Brenda start to carry my luggage to my room. She immediately insisted on taking it upstairs for me. There are no maids in the house. Stephen doesn't like having strangers around, so the cleaning service just comes, cooks, tidies up, and leaves. How did you two meet? I used to be part of the cleaning service here. Not long after your mother passed away, he told me he was interested in me, and I said yes. Do you and your daughter share the same birthday? Yes. When he heard that, he even bought us a special birthday cake and got us presents. No wonder. A mother and daughter born on the same day. Using your souls to feed the spirit would double its power. But what was his goal in raising the demon? And when did he get this painting? Could the demon have deceived him with the promise of resurrecting my mother? Impossible. He had that painting even when your mother was alive. I've worked here for 4 years, and that painting has been here the whole time. The cleaner before me told me the painting was extremely important and not to touch it, not even to dust it, or I'd be fired. A painting so valuable and legendary must have a transaction record on an auction site. I checked the last record. It was from 15 years ago, after Caleb Thorne bought it. Then both he and the painting disappeared. Are there any other places in the house that are off limits? The study. Why do you ask? This painting needed a human sacrifice at least every 2 years. I could feel the lingering resentment of other souls in this house. Most likely, their bodies were hidden somewhere on the property, and their bones were probably in the study. Brenda was so scared she dropped my suitcase. She grabbed my hand, her body shaking like a leaf. Get us out of here right now. This place is too terrifying. It's not time yet. Go back to your room and stay put. Don't do anything reckless, or I won't be able to save you either. I'll find a chance to check the study later. After dinner, I carried a bowl of sweet soup into the study. Stephen was in a video conference. What are you doing here? He asked, his tone laced with annoyance. Well, we haven't seen each other in 15 years. I thought we could reconnect. I made this soup myself. You have to try a bite, right? His expression softened slightly. He ended the video call, took a couple of sips of the soup, and then said he felt a little drowsy. He laid his head on the desk and fell asleep. I had added a spell to the soup to put him into a deep sleep for about 20 minutes. I had to use this time to find the remains. I tapped along the walls, searching for a hidden panel, but found nothing. I opened the cabinets one by one. Nothing. Just as I was about to check the last one, a voice came from behind me. Nina, what are you looking for? I was just remembering a drawing I made when I was 3. Thought I'd see if it was in the study. I saw his reflection in the glass cabinet door. He was smiling for the first time, a strange, twisted smile. That smile is so creepy. It's like he knows everything. Didn't the streamer say the soup would knock him out for 20 minutes? It's only been 10. Run, Nina. I don't think you can beat him. Don't get yourself killed. You can't save them if you're dead. This is all a script. You guys actually believe it? Finding flaws in it? How could that happen? He smiled as he placed his hand over mine. It was cold, without a trace of warmth. He pulled open the cabinet door. Congratulations. You found them. White bones spilled onto the floor. The entire cabinet was filled with them, neatly arranged. It was the first time I'd ever seen so many bones up close, and I couldn't help but feel a jolt of shock. What kind of bones are these? Human bones. Stop pretending. You've already figured out the soul-devouring formation, haven't you? Since you want to die with them, a cultivator's soul would be the finest nourishment for a ghost. I don't mind making my spirit slave a little stronger. So scary. That's at least 5 people's worth of bones. I've already called the police. Streamer, quick, tell me the address of the mansion. He's really not human. He'd kill his own daughter. Run, streamer, run. I glanced at the time. 11:50 p.m. Since we still have some time, how about we chat for 10 minutes? Stephen Shaw leaned back against the sofa. For the sake of the few times you've called me Dad, I'll give you these 10 minutes. How long have you had the painting? How many people have you fed to it? 15 years. 7 people. They all thought I was a great philanthropist. What's the goal? To make the demon as strong as possible, so it can be my eternal servant and kill everyone in this world who displeases me. Aren't you afraid the Taoist Council will come after you? After tonight, who will be able to stop me? He had already moved the painting into the study. As he spoke, the malevolent spirit drifted out of the canvas. It was a swirling black smoke, its eyes like 2 hazy voids, fangs jutting from its mouth. Its body was ethereal. It instantly pressed itself against Stephen, nuzzling his face like an obedient slave fawning over its master. Is this my meal for tonight? Its voice was raspy and grating. I'm not hallucinating, that's a real ghost. They really splurged on the special effects for this. God, please don't let me have nightmares tonight. It has to wait, Stephen said. You need to go find that mother and daughter first. It's almost time, I'm so hungry. The spirit instantly floated out of the room. I quickly chased after it. After being fed for so many years, the spirit was no longer bound to the painting. The artwork had been altered into a soul-devouring formation. It was originally meant to be a ghost-suppressing talisman. Brenda and Chloe had been connected with me the whole time watching the live stream. Now they were trying to escape the mansion. Brenda, we can't get out. All the exits are sealed. He's about to find us. Come out, come out. I've lived with you for 2 years. Haven't I been good to you? You'd rather trust Nina, who hates you for taking over her home. She is my daughter after all. She already told me where you were hiding. Brenda, is that true? Of course. I'd definitely help my own father. They're in. I can't believe the streamer is that kind of person. Oh my God, you guys run. Find another place to hide. I drew a sword made of bronze coins and struck him with it. By the grace of the Eternal, I command these spirits to fall. With divine power, I call forth the guardians of light. Banish this evil, break its hold. Thick black smoke poured out of his body as he let out a piercing scream and fell to his knees. Arg, sensing its master was hurt, the spirit immediately flew back. I instantly raised a celestial mirror and aimed it at the demon. Mirror spirit, I command you, be sealed within. Soul-shattering curse, break the bonds, seal the body. Ghostly form, reveal yourself. By the silent wind, I command you. The spirit was sealed inside the mirror. I watched as the man's true form was revealed. His hair was mostly white, he looked 50 years older, and his face was covered in dark spots. But you're not my father, are you? Caleb Thorne. How did you figure it out? First, the painting. It was sold at auction 15 years ago to you. I could never get a clear reading of your true face. And then, when you grabbed my hand to open the cabinet, you cut yourself. The blood dripped onto the bones and was absorbed. That's when it all clicked. Why would a father be so cold to a daughter he hadn't seen in 15 years? He adored her when she was little. Even if he had turned to dark magic, it wouldn't be like this. The only explanation was that he wasn't my father at all. Confess your sins. Say them out loud. What did I do wrong? I saved so many people back then, but when I looked at my own fate, all I saw was a terminal illness and a death sentence before 32. Why is heaven so unfair? Reading your own fate broke the rules. And are you saying you never did anything wrong? You took money to help people borrow longevity, cutting short the lives of how many innocent people? How many rich men did you help switch their unborn child's fate, leaving female spirits with no chance of reincarnation? And arranging ghost marriages for the dead? You were a member of the Taoist council who did nothing but evil. Your short life was nothing but karma. Those people lived like ants in so much pain. It was their own greed. They picked up the money I left, and that money had to be paid for with their lifespan. Those baby girls were unwanted from birth, so why should they be born at all? I was just giving the poor another way to make money. The ghost marriages were all consensual. He's so shameless. It's always someone else's fault. When he does good, he complains about fate. When he does evil, he doesn't mention a thing. So those stories about not picking up money with writing on it are true? It really is a way to borrow someone's life. That's harsh. Are poor people's lives not worth anything? My short life? It's your parents who had short lives. I've outlived them. I glared at him, consumed by hatred. You stole their fates. At the time, I spent all my money to buy the Source of Death painting. I intended to do one last good deed and stop the painting from harming anyone else. But every night, a voice told me to change my fate, that I could have money. I changed the ghost-suppressing talisman into a soul-devouring formation, making the spirit my willing servant, so it could never trick me into becoming its slave. Your parents found me collapsed on the street and took me in, gave me food and shelter. But when I saw their special destinies, I became greedy and took their lives. Your only mistake was that the man who saved you let you go, saying you faced a great danger and couldn't stay with them. You didn't even see each other for 18 years, and your mother sent you away to a monastery. He never would have had to die. Cause and effect. The moment he revealed his true form, I was able to divine the rest. With his Taoist skills, he had convinced my parents to send me away. He stayed by their side, used my father's hair and birth information to switch their fates, and imprisoned my real father in the basement. Once, my father almost escaped, but he was discovered and fed to the demon. After tasting a living soul, the demon would no longer accept mere blood sacrifices. It needed to devour a living soul at least every 2 years. So Caleb Thorne specifically recruited unemployed people with no family, getting praised by the media as a philanthropist. Their final fate was to die of sudden cardiac arrest while working at his house. The hospital couldn't find anything wrong. He would then arrange their funerals, earning more praise. He even used this method to kill a business rival. As for my mother, she had recently become suspicious and was planning to visit my monastery to ask questions. He sensed it and pushed her down the stairs. The official story was that my real father, who was supposedly gravely ill, had wandered out and fallen to his death. Caleb Thorne stared at me, his face a mask of regret. I should never have let you live. I gave you the chance to come after me. To think that after a lifetime of studying the Tao, I'd be defeated by an 18-year-old girl. I can't accept it. You should get a taste of what others have experienced. I released the demon from the celestial mirror. Due to multiple guideline violations, my live stream was banned. The demon floated in the air, its eyes glowing, and said to him, "I'm so hungry." He was pinned against the wall by an unseen force. The demon had been raised on his blood. It bit into his neck first, drinking its fill before slowly, piece by piece, devouring his soul. The next day, the police issued a statement. The chairman of Shaw Corporation was found dead in his home. His daughter, Nina Shaw, inherited his entire estate. The stepmother and stepsister renounced their claim to the inheritance and returned to their hometown. Fortune telling and divination, 500 a reading. Can you help me find my girlfriend? I haven't heard from her in 3 months. She's in your house. You smashed her with a hammer and made her into a bone umbrella. Just remember, don't open an umbrella indoors. The end. Part 2. Live streaming fortunes. I predicted an A-lister's secret child. He flew into a rage, spewing threats and accusations. I'm sending my lawyers after you. I just shrugged. Don't believe me if you don't want to. You'll be meeting him soon enough anyway. The A-lister froze. Wait, I'm a Taoist priestess, known as Master Aura. To keep up with the times, my master encouraged us to start live streaming our divination sessions. I never expected to accidentally become an influencer. With fame comes trouble. Sure enough, the pregnant woman who connected with me immediately asked, "Little master, can you tell me the sex of the baby in my belly?" I shook my head. Fortune telling has its principles. If my words led to this child being harmed, I'd face divine retribution. I might as well have just called her out for wanting a boy. The woman on the other end of the screen flew into a rage. And you call yourself a master? I think you're just a fraud who can't tell fortunes at all. The live chat started to turn on me. The beauty niche is so competitive. This girl is just using a gimmick for attention. Hold on, how does she look like a priestess? She's wearing normal clothes, not Taoist robes. In their eyes, I was already branded a fake. I couldn't help but roll my eyes and decisively ended the connection. If I were a fraud, why would I turn down your business? I still hadn't completed my master's daily task of 3 readings, and I didn't want to waste any more time on her. As for the negative comments, I chose to ignore them. A new order was placed. The person I connected with this time looked a little familiar. Before I could place his name, my stream was flooded with a stampede of fans. Oh my God, am I seeing things? Is that Leo Vance? The streamer is so lucky. She actually connected with a top male celebrity. Wait, it looks like Leo the Legend placed the order himself. What's he up to now? I glanced at the chat and finally remembered who this guy was. Leo Vance, an idol who debuted with explosive popularity, hailed as having god-tier visuals, and nicknamed Leo the Legend. He scanned my bio with a dismissive air. A master? You can tell fortunes? Do you even know what the 5 elements and the 8 trigrams are? I hate influencers who pull stunts like this for clout. Leo's good looks came with a sharp tongue. He had built his brand on being brutally honest and direct. His performance shutting down a manipulative female guest on a variety show had won him a massive wave of public support. Sure enough, as soon as Leo finished speaking, the chat filled with comments. My man is so hot. The one and only idol for me. King of calling it like it is. LOL, the streamer wanted to get famous, right? Well, Now she's going to be humiliated in front of the whole internet. Leo the legend is the ultimate BS detector. I glanced at his smug, rebellious face. If you don't want a reading, please don't cause trouble. Didn't you see I placed an order? He clicked on the scope of services. Disclaimer: cannot read fortunes unrelated to the client, cannot predict lifespan, cannot serve those with malicious intent. A lot of rules here. Should I say you're principled or just not skilled enough? Haha. He's not skilled. That's why he has so many rules. I was getting a little impatient. So, what do you want me to divine? Because of the pregnant woman incident, I had no more orders in my queue. If it weren't for my daily task, I would have kicked him off already. Leo tossed his phone aside and leaned back in his chair. I lost a watch a few days ago. Why don't you tell me where it is? I nodded, about to begin, when he suddenly said, wait. If you don't get it right, what's the penalty? It can't just be a refund, right? My mouth twitched. That's an impossible scenario, because I'm never wrong. Quite an ego on you. He tilted his head, thinking. Since you're so sure, let's play for high stakes. If you're right, I'll pay you the cash value of the watch. If you're wrong, you call me Grandpa 3 times, refund all your previous clients, and delete your account. How about it? This guy was so extra. I couldn't be bothered to argue with him, so I just snorted in agreement. The chat was uniformly praising him. Leo is so smart. This will prove if she's real or fake. But the streamer actually agreed. I'm suddenly starting to believe she can really tell fortunes. I took out a few bronze coins, cast them on the table, observed them for a moment, then rearranged a few. I was focused on my work for so long that Leo started to get impatient. I looked up, to the southeast, in a small, confined space. Leo glanced in the direction I indicated, then looked around, confirming there was nothing he didn't want people to see before quickly panning his camera around his entire mansion. He lived in a standalone villa. A wicked smile spread across his face as he walked southeast. The path was clear all the way to the bathroom. Leo scanned the room carefully, but there was no sign of a watch. He scoffed. Aura, are you messing with me? I frowned. Pan your camera a little to the right. Fine. Leo complied, a smug smirk on his face. Want me to call in an excavator to dig 3 feet deep? The camera followed his movements, and the chat lit up. So exciting. I'm actually getting a tour of Leo Vance's house. Friendly reminder, you can request a refund in your account settings. He has all the gifts from his fans on display. He and his fans really have a two-way street. The audience was examining Leo's house with a magnifying glass, but I was the only one in shock. Leo, did you have a child at some point? Did I hear that right? Is there another secret celebrity baby in the world? The chat exploded. Leo's hand holding the phone froze. A flash of panic crossed his face. He quickly regained his composure and looked at me playfully. Done with fortunes, so you're starting rumors now? His lips were smiling, but the smile didn't reach his eyes. Aura, there's a limit to how much clout you can chase. This livestream isn't above the law. If you dare to slander me again, I'll have my people send you a cease and desist. Leo's gaze was filled with warning, as if he would eat me alive if I said another word. Wow, did you see Leo's eyes? He's killing me. He just looks tough, but I bet he's a sweetheart in private. Seeing the wave of support in the chat, Leo's expression softened. I pursed my lips. Let's put that aside for a moment. Leo, you have a lingering spirit in your house. A lingering spirit? Leo's brow furrowed. What the hell is that? The residual soul of a miscarried or aborted fetus. This type of soul carries immense resentment and can be turned into a lingering spirit through dark magic. To complete its fragmented soul, it must devour the souls of the living, and its victim will become a puppet. I looked concerned. Even through the screen, I could feel the presence of the spirit. The resentment it carried must be incredibly strong. Is this a horror movie now? The streamer is trying something new and edgy. Does the streamer think we're all idiots? This is pretty creepy for a late-night stream. A vein pulsed on Leo's temple. He raised his voice. Are you done? Do you think I was joking about the lawsuit? You're a pretty girl. Why would a young woman like you pretend to be crazy and beg for money online? He's right. That's our Leo, straight to the point. Just kick her off. It's bad luck to be stuck with a streamer with no morals. I sighed. Have you not been hearing strange noises at night lately? Leo rolled his eyes. What noises could there be at night? Just my dog, Buddy, barking, and the neighbor's kid crying. His brow furrowed slightly, and his voice trailed off. I was sure he had realized the problem. Sure enough, someone in the chat caught on too. Doesn't Leo live in a standalone mansion? How would he hear a neighbor's kid? I'm just a simple person, so I don't get it. Is the soundproofing in villas really that bad? Leo's frown deepened. 3 nights ago, he had been woken by the sound of a baby crying. He'd gotten up to close the window, only to find it was already shut. He was confused, but the crying had stopped, and he was too tired to think about it, so he just went back to bed. The next morning, he'd forgotten all about it. Now, suddenly recalling the incident, a cold sweat broke out on his back. He had definitely heard that baby cry, and it had sounded like it was right next to him, not coming from a neighbor's house. Leo fell silent, seemingly contemplating the truth in my words. This sounds so outlandish. How could I believe it? Is Leo actually falling for this? Believing such a ridiculous story? I guess you don't need a brain to be a celebrity. But how do you explain the baby crying? Could it have been a cat? It's mating season after all. I've been hearing stray cats howling at night lately. As Leo thought, his eyes kept darting to his fans' comments. He silently breathed a sigh of relief. I often feed the stray cats in the neighborhood, so they like to hang around my house. To everyone who said Leo was just putting on a show, you've been proven wrong. He's a kind person in private too. It seems like celebrities really need to protect their privacy, or they'll be taken advantage of by people trying to stir up trouble. Seeing this, a look of realization dawned on Leo's face. Aura, you couldn't find the watch, so you made up this story about a lingering spirit to change the subject, didn't you? I lost my patience. The order you placed was just to find a stupid watch, but now I'm trying to save your life. If this didn't involve dark magic, do you think I'd want to get involved? No good deed goes unpunished. I took a deep breath, reminding myself, saving a life is better than building a 7-story pagoda. The lingering spirit needs to be nourished by the life force of a living person before it can possess a soul. Is there anything in your house that's shaped like a doll? Leo pointed to the hip-hop clothes he was wearing. Do I look like the kind of guy who plays with stuffed animals? It was well known that Leo's image was cool and edgy. I'd never seen him willingly touch a doll. The chat suddenly went off topic. I kind of want to see Leo holding a doll. The contrast would be cute. I shook my head firmly. Impossible. You must have one. Think again. It doesn't have to be a stuffed animal. It could be another kind of doll-shaped object. Leo was getting annoyed. I told you there isn't one, unless someone secretly put it here, his expression faltered. He suddenly looked up at something above the screen, his face growing more and more solemn. I watched his expression closely. What did you think of? Leo slowly stood up and took a wooden puppet down from a shelf directly above him. The chat was filled with question marks. Whoa, there really is a doll. Why does that puppet look so creepy? I instinctively took a deep breath. The puppet was only palm-sized, shaped like a baby. The carving was unsettlingly realistic, the expression on its face was lifelike, and even the lines on its fingers were clearly visible. The puppet wore a smile, but the longer you looked at it, the more sinister it seemed. Leo tried to recall where the puppet came from. About 2 weeks ago, a fan sent me this hand-carved puppet. I just put it in my study after I received it. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Whether it was a psychological effect or not, looking at the puppet now sent a chill down his spine. It was just a piece of wood, but it felt like it was really staring back at him. You need some serious skill to make a puppet like that. But it's normal to have dolls in a house, right? Who doesn't have a few doll-shaped things? This is an easy coincidence. If the streamer is going to lie, she should at least come up with a better story. Leo, just kick her off. She's just using you for clout. Perhaps moved by the fans' dedication, the chat once again turned against me. Leo's expression returned to normal. and he put on his usual rebellious act. But I had no time for that, because I had to confirm immediately if this puppet was the vessel for the lingering spirit. The lingering spirit nourishes its soul with life force. The vessel must be soaked in the blood of the dead fetus for 7 days. Smell the puppet, and see if it has the scent of blood. Leo looked at the chat and smirked. Don't worry, guys. Her using me for clout will only let more people know she's a fraud. I'm going to deal with this scammer today and stop her from fooling more innocent people. Go, Leo. You're the realest one in showbiz. Amidst a chorus of praise, Leo brought the puppet to his nose. His whole face instantly scrunched up in disgust. He almost threw up, forcing down the bile rising in his throat. What is this smell? It's kind of fishy, and a little like a rotting animal. He tried to describe the smell, but just recalling it made him gag. No way, is there really something wrong with the puppet? A puppet soaked in blood, just thinking about it is horrifying. That thing is seriously evil. You should get rid of it fast. The puppet is so intricately carved. It must be made from a special kind of wood. Maybe it's the natural scent of the wood. Right. My family is in the lumber business. Woods like boxwood, redwood, and chestnut smell awful. And the puppet is a very light color. It doesn't look like it's been soaked in blood at all. Leo's furrowed brow suddenly relaxed. He looked at me annoyed. Have you ever seen wood that's been soaked in blood turn out cream-colored? I almost fell for your tricks again. The chat echoed Leo's thoughts. I pointed to a small bump on the puppet's ankle. There should be a switch there. Press it. Open the puppet's mechanism. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a small figure inside. This thing is tiny, and you're telling me it has a mechanism? Leo pressed the button I indicated with one hand, and the puppet popped open with a bang. The puppet was just an empty shell, and the inside was a deep red. In the center lay a small cloth doll with a line of tiny characters written on it. Leo swallowed hard, his hand trembling as he took out the small doll. When he saw the words on it, his jaw dropped. This is my birth date and time. The chat exploded. What kind of high-tech gadget is this? Things are getting weirder and weirder. In TV shows, they use dolls like this for curses. The person who sent the puppet must be a hater. I'm not superstitious, but this is just too malicious. Leo had no time to read the chat. He stared at my face. What did you say the lingering spirit would do to me? I said word for word. The person whose soul is stolen will become the puppet of the person who cast the spell. He paused. What do I need to do now? I thought for a moment. To break the spell, you must first find the sound, form, vessel, and object. We already know the sound and the vessel. What's left is the form and the object. These two are linked. The form is an imprint, usually the footprint of the lingering spirit. The object is a living thing that comes into contact with you every day, and the imprint is on it. I recalled what I knew about Leo. If I remember correctly, the only pet you have is a dog, right? Leo shot up straight in his seat, his eyes instinctively turning to Buddy, who was sleeping behind him. He took his beloved dog everywhere. Buddy spent more time with him than his own parents. Someone in the chat started to attack me. You have no shame, do you? You won't even leave a dog alone. And you all believed her. Then how do you explain the little doll just now? The puppet was probably the streamer's doing. Of course she knows what's inside something she sent. So the streamer planned this all along. But it was Leo who initiated the connection with her. Leo, don't you see she's been playing you this whole time? If you believe her again, you're an idiot. The chat was already in an uproar. Leo's face was a mess of conflict. After a long moment, he suddenly stood up. I said I would take her down, and I'll make sure she loses fair and square. Aura, if there's no so-called imprint on Buddy, I will make you pay. He placed his phone next to Buddy and ran his hands all over the dog's fur for a long time. Not only was there no footprint, there wasn't even a patch of discolored fur. I frowned. This shouldn't be. Something was wrong. On the other side of the screen, Leo visibly relaxed. But when he saw a few comments from fans who were now turning on him, his face darkened again. See? The streamer makes up some nonsense and you all believe it. I suddenly feel like I'm a fan of an idiot. Leo is just trying to expose this fraud, okay? I'd like to see how the streamer is going to spin this now. Seeing his fans about to start a war with his haters, Leo cleared his throat and looked at me smugly. Aura, do you have anything else to say? My silence was deafening, because I was holding my breath, my eyes fixed on what was behind Leo. The chat suddenly went quiet, then exploded a second later. Leo, look behind you. There's someone behind you. So scary, but this looks like a female ghost. Didn't Leo say the lingering spirit was a child? Leo's body went rigid. His face was pale, and his neck seemed to be welded in place. Through the screen, everyone saw a mass of long, dark hair floating over Leo's shoulder. I pursed my lips. Leo, you're blocking my view. If he didn't move, I couldn't see what was behind him. At this point, the chat could only encourage Leo to be brave. After a long pause, he summoned his courage and turned around. Sarah? The woman, who had been mostly hidden by Leo, finally came into full view. Someone in the chat quickly recognized her. Isn't that Leo's assistant, Sarah? Huh, she let her hair down. No wonder I didn't recognize her at first. What's a female assistant doing at a male celebrity's house this late at night? And she just walked in without knocking. Their relationship seems a little too close. Leo let out a sigh of relief, then frowned, looking uncomfortable. What are you doing here at this hour? Sarah held up a food container. The medicine the doctor prescribed. You forgot to take it today. Leo quietly exhaled. Just put it on the table. I'll drink it later. He pointed to his phone, indicating he was busy. Sarah nodded. I'll go wash your dirty clothes and pack your things for tomorrow's event. Leo sat back down in front of his phone. As he opened the food container, he shot me a dirty look. Aura, do you remember our bet? Come on, call me Grandpa a couple of times so I can hear it. But my attention was drawn to what was in his container. Leo, how many days have you been drinking this medicine? He tilted his head, thinking. The doctor said 1 week would be enough. Today should be the last day, right? Chat. Streamer, don't change the subject. A bet's a bet. I'm waiting to see you call him Grandpa. Chat. By the way, is Leo sick? As a die-hard fan, I didn't even know. Luckily, he has Sarah to take such good care of him. Leo glanced at the chat, taking a small sip of the soup. He cleaned his ear. You're an influencer. You're not going to go back on your word, are you? Come on, my ears are ready. I forced down the nausea rising in my stomach. Leo, do you know what you're drinking right now? It's human placenta. Before a lingering spirit can possess a soul, the victim must drink placenta tea for 7 consecutive days. If I'm not mistaken, today is the day the spirit will take your soul. Leo burst out laughing. Don't give me that placenta nonsense. If you're too embarrassed to call me Grandpa, why don't you just say something nice and beg me? Maybe I'll have a change of heart and let you off the hook. As if to prove he was drinking ordinary herbal medicine, he defiantly took a large gulp of the soup. The chat was laughing too. The streamer is just talking nonsense now. Leo, you can't let her off. You can't go easy on someone with no shame. From the perspective of my family of traditional Chinese medicine doctors, that does look a bit like placenta. I looked at Leo coldly. If I'm not mistaken, the imprint should be on your assistant. I missed something earlier. As your assistant, Sarah is also in contact with you every day. I have a hunch that Puppet was also brought here by your assistant. Leo, what did you do to make her hate you so much? Leo's eyes flashed. Aura, don't push your luck. I laughed in exasperation. Better than someone like you who has no shame and no regard for his own life. I've held back on some things to save you some face. My words set off an explosion of attacks from Leo's fans. LOL, she's still acting. How dare she insult our idol? Let her see the power of a top celebrity. Sisters, report her. I shrugged. You can't reason with a dead man walking. I did my best. Don't believe me if you don't want to. You'll be meeting him soon enough anyway. Everyone has a breaking point. I gave Leo one last look as if he were already dead, and was about to end the connection when he suddenly spoke up. Wait, chat. No way, is Leo still believing her? Chat. Could what Aura said be true? Leo closed the lid of the food container. I'm going to make you lose so badly you'll have no excuses. His words were harsh, but his voice lacked conviction, as if he were trying to convince himself. Sarah, come here for a second, Leo shouted towards the door. Sarah quickly walked over. What's wrong? She was wearing a sexy red slip dress today. Sarah stood up straight, and Leo surreptitiously looked her over. He didn't see any imprint. Her smooth skin looked even whiter against the red dress, delicate and flawless. I suddenly think the assistant is really beautiful. When she's dressed up, she's as pretty as any actress in the industry. Sarah always used to wear her hair in a bun. It looks much better down. With such a beauty around him every day, how could our idol not be tempted? Don't talk about my wife like that. While the chat discussed Sarah's looks and figure, Leo's eyes were fixed on her neck. The window was open, and a gust of wind blew in, lifting Sarah's hair slightly and revealing a bright red mark on her neck, a clear, small footprint. Leo froze, his world crumbling around him. The chat went silent. Did you guys see that? I took a screenshot. Someone posted a picture. In the screenshot, the footprint on Sarah's neck was glaringly red. I finally understand why she let her hair down. So scary. I have goosebumps all over. So is Sarah a ghost now? It seems like she's the one who set up the spell. Leo instinctively took 2 steps back. He had been with Sarah for years and knew her better than anyone. He knew for a fact that there had been no marks on her neck before. Leo, what's wrong? Sarah asked with a concerned look. And nothing. I just suddenly have a craving for your seafood congee. Can you go make me a bowl? Leo just wanted to get her out of the room. Sarah's eyes lit up, and she nodded gently. Once she was gone, Leo whispered urgently. Aura, did you see that? She has a small footprint on her neck. Chat, we saw it. We all saw it. Master Aura, I was too loud before. Please save Leo. Leo, stop wasting time. Jump out the window and escape now. Isn't there a front door? Everyone was worried about Leo's safety. He came to his senses and rushed down the stairs, only to collide with Sarah, who was on her way up. What's the rush? Where are you going? Sarah swayed as she stood up, the small footprint on her neck in full view. Leo stammered, I'm going out to buy a pack of cigarettes. Sarah stared at him with a stern expression for a moment. Did you finish your medicine? Leo nodded mechanically. I held my breath, and the live stream was instantly flooded with comments. So scary, chat shield activate. She suddenly smiled, chiding him. You just finished your medicine and you're already smoking? Do you not want to get better? Leo silently sidled past her, whining, just one. Sarah nodded reluctantly. All right. Leo breathed a sigh of relief and was about to leave when she called out to him. It's so late. You shouldn't go out. I just remembered, I hid your cigarettes in the closet last time. There should be a few packs left. Leo was on the verge of a breakdown. Can you go get them for me then? The closet was in the upstairs bedroom. While Sarah went to get the cigarettes, Leo ran to the front door. Damn it, it was locked from the inside. He couldn't help but slam his fist on the shoe cabinet next to him. Without a key, he couldn't open it from the inside either. The chat was getting anxious. Find the key. Leo, don't tell me you can't find the key to your own house? Leo wiped the sweat from his forehead. He really didn't know where his own keys were. With an assistant taking care of his daily life, he never bothered to remember such trivial things. I pursed my lips. She must have set up a formation in the house. Even if you find the key, you won't be able to get out. Footsteps came from upstairs, getting closer. Leo quickly lay down on the sofa, pretending to be casually playing on his phone. Sarah tossed the cigarettes on the table. We agreed just one. Okay. Leo tried his best to look normal. Sarah was busy nearby, so he didn't dare to speak. He typed in the chat instead. Master, what do I do now? I glanced at the time. 11:38 p.m. The lingering spirit will possess you at midnight. Before that, you need to get Sarah's blood on the small doll. And one more thing, you have to tell me. Is Sarah the mother of the lingering spirit? Leo's mouth was tightly shut. He didn't say anything for a long time. Do I understand this correctly? Did Leo really have a thing with his assistant? Upstairs, it's not just a thing, it's a child. Maybe it's not what you think. A minute passed. I broke the silence. I'm not trying to expose your private life, but the person being possessed must have a parental relationship with the lingering spirit, and breaking the spell requires the birth information of both the mother and father. Whether Sarah is the mother or not, this child is Leo's. He closed his eyes in despair. Sarah did have an abortion for me. The chat was unusually calm this time. My favorite idol scandal is a new kind of scandal. His life is on the line. Does it matter if he has a scandal or not? He may be a jerk, but he doesn't deserve to die for it. After confessing, Leo surprisingly felt a sense of relief. He calmly recited his and Sarah's birth information. I quickly drew a talisman with a drop of my own blood. First, figure out a way to do what I just told you. Are you coming to save him now? This was an affluent area. My place wasn't far from Leo's. Leo was still typing. No way, master. How am I supposed to get her blood? And I have a feeling she already suspects something. I helped him brainstorm while turning the steering wheel. From the looks of it, she still has feelings for you. Why don't you try using your good looks? Leo was triggered. She's about to possess me, and you think she still has feelings for me? I'll just have to fend for myself. Damn it, Leo was spiraling. Luckily, the chat was giving him ideas. He has a knife in his hand, right? Just grab it and give her a little cut. You'll get as much blood as you need. Upstairs, you have violent tendencies. You could distract her while she's chopping vegetables. Maybe she'll cut herself by accident. Or you could pretend to accidentally break a bowl. Then ask her to pick up the pieces. She'll cut her hand, hee. With so many ideas, Leo was finally inspired. He looked at Sarah, who was making seafood congee, took a deep breath, and walked over. Let me help you with that. Sarah looked up in surprise, a hint of joy in her eyes. Since when did you know how to do this? He took the knife and clumsily chopped some green onions, his eyes constantly darting in Sarah's direction. Finally, just as Sarah was about to turn around, Leo suddenly moved forward, and the knife in his hand accidentally cut Sarah's arm. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Leo frantically grabbed a paper towel to wipe away the blood beading on her arm. Sarah looked down at the cut on her arm without saying a word. The chat was terrified by her expression. She seems to be smiling. It's so creepy. That cut must hurt, but she didn't even flinch. Leo was embarrassed. I'll go upstairs and get the first aid kit to bandage it for you. As soon as Sarah turned around, Leo sprinted upstairs and wiped the bloody paper towel on the small doll. It seems like a little, but she didn't say how much. As long as it has blood on it, it should be fine, Leo muttered to himself. Do you need more? I have more here. Leo shook his head, then suddenly felt a chill run down his spine. Sarah, what are you doing? He hung his head. I didn't do it on purpose. In this situation, any explanation was just an excuse. Run. I knew it. She found out. Aura is still on the way. Leo, no one can save you now. The chat was urging Leo to jump out the window. I quickly stopped him. Don't jump out the window. It will disrupt the formation and trigger the lingering spirit to appear early. But it was too late. Sarah's stare was making Leo's hair stand on end. He backed away step by step to the window and straddled the sill. Don't force me. If you take one more step, I'll jump. He glanced down at the distance to the ground and hugged the window frame tighter. Sarah suddenly stopped. She raised the fruit knife in her hand and slashed her own wrist. You want my blood, don't you? Why didn't you just ask me? You know I'd do anything for you. She raised her hand and slashed again. Leo, why? I've given you so much. Why do you still betray me? 3 years ago, I was pregnant with our first child. You said your career was just starting, and a child would kill your dream before it even began. So my child was killed. Last year, we finally had another baby, but you said you had just become a top celebrity and a child would ruin your career. You said to give you 1 more year, just 1 more year, and we could get married. So I endured the pain and had another abortion. This time, I'm finally pregnant again, and you tell me you see me more as family. Leo, would you get a family member pregnant 3 times? She staggered forward a few steps. I know you've fallen for someone else. You've betrayed our love. I slammed on the brakes, staring at the screen. I suddenly didn't want to save Leo anymore. The assistant's story is so tragic. You really can't judge a book by its cover. Who would have thought Leo was not just a jerk, but a monster? Sarah should have left after the first pregnancy. Being blinded by love is a dangerous thing. As the chat condemned Leo, no one mentioned saving him anymore. Suddenly someone said, but if Sarah hurts Leo, she'll be punished by the law. I was jolted back to reality and floored the gas pedal. Sarah made a third cut, and the sound of a baby's whimper echoed around them. Daddy mommy, daddy mommy. The voice was ethereal and terrifying. Leo had already wet himself. A warm liquid trickled down the windowsill and onto the floor, emitting a foul odor. The chat was going crazy. What the hell is that sound? The cry of the lingering spirit. It's so scary, I can't even watch. I think I see the footprint on Sarah's neck laughing. Sarah suddenly threw her head back and laughed, a strange and desolate sound. As she did, the footprint on Leo's neck slowly faded away. The vanished footprint reappeared on the floor, the size of a baby's foot, and began to walk step by step towards Leo. Daddy, daddy, why don't you want me? Leo was on the verge of tears. He had nowhere to retreat, but he didn't dare to jump. He could only flail his right arm wildly. Don't come any closer. As the footprint got closer, he squeezed his eyes shut and screamed, Aura, come and save me. I stood outside the door, my face expressionless, silently watching the scene on my phone. The footprint gradually transformed into the shape of a baby. From the back, it looked like a cute, chubby boy, but when it turned around, it terrified everyone. Holy crap, that scared me to death. Leo, just jump. It's better to fall to your death than to be with that thing. He looks like he's too scared to move. The lingering spirit had no facial features, just 3 deep, bottomless black holes. Bright red blood trickled from the holes and dripped onto the floor. Sarah laughed. Leo, open your eyes and look. He's our child. Leo sat frozen on the windowsill, his teeth chattering. It wasn't until the lingering spirit grabbed his arm that he slowly came to his senses and began to struggle. Aura, come quick. He scrambled towards the door, but was thrown back hard by the spirit. The phone was knocked to the ground, and the camera couldn't see Leo. Only his screams could be heard. Sarah's voice was gentle and eerie. Leo, just wait a little longer. When it's midnight, we can be together forever. I'll be as good to you as I was before. You know, I'm the best at taking care of people. Taking care of a puppet will be no problem at all. Leo's screams gradually faded. Did Leo get killed in the fall? From the sound of it, he's still breathing. By the way, where's Aura? Shouldn't she have arrived by now? Finally, someone noticed me. I glanced at the time. 3 minutes to midnight. No ruse. The spirit couldn't possess him yet. It could only drain his energy. Aya. A piercing scream came from inside the house, louder than all the previous ones combined. Is Leo dead? From that sound, even if he's not dead, he's only got half a life left. He's pathetic, but he deserves it. 1 minute left. I raised my spell-breaking hammer, entered the door code Leo had given me, and the door opened. Leo lay on the floor, barely breathing. The room was covered in blood. You're finally here. He struggled to get up. I opened my palm. Give me the doll. With his last ounce of strength, he threw the blood-soaked doll to me. I paused, my right hand forming an 8-character gesture under my chin. You haven't told me how much I'm getting paid for this. Leo almost coughed up blood. He quickly understood. $8 million. If you save me, I'll give you $8 million. I smiled in satisfaction. A talisman attached itself to the doll, and a golden light lifted it up, sending it straight towards the lingering spirit. The spirit gradually transformed into the appearance of a normal baby. Sarah was stunned. I said in a low voice, if your child had been born, this is probably what he would have looked like. The talisman could only make the spirit briefly reveal its original form. It soon vanished into thin air. Sarah fell to her knees where the child had lain, sobbing softly. It's Mommy's fault. Her wails grew louder until her strength gave out and she fainted. I walked into the bathroom, found a watch in the crack between the bathtub and the wall, and tossed it to Leo. Don't forget, transfer the cash value of this along with the 8 million. Leo's mouth twitched. I'll transfer it to you right now. Can you call 911 for me? After Leo was taken away by the ambulance, Sarah slowly woke up. She looked at the spot where the spirit had disappeared, tears streaming down her face. It's all because I was blinded by love. I'm the one who hurt those 3 children. I was speechless. I turned and left Leo's mansion. The next day, Leo Vance's scandal, Leo Vance retires, and Leo Vance seriously injured, now impotent, took turns topping the trending charts. I looked at the $9 million in my account and smiled as I opened my live stream. Because of what happened that night, my follower count had quadrupled. The moment I went live, the stream was packed. Is this the priestess who predicted Leo Vance had a secret child? It was probably just a publicity stunt. Streamer, can you predict the sex of a fetus? Master, you are my god. Are you accepting apprentices? I started a new connection as usual. On the other side was the pregnant woman from before. Master, I was wrong before. You're a bigger person than me. Please just tell me if this child is a boy or a girl. I sighed in resignation. Request a refund in the bottom right corner, thank you. The pregnant woman's face stiffened, then she burst into tears. I've already had 3 daughters. If I can't have a son this time, my husband is going to divorce me. Master, please, you have to help me. She cried with such desperation that even the chat started to plead for her. Streamer, just do it for her this once. The poor woman is so miserable. Ultimately, it's her husband who's the jerk. If it were me, I'd divorce him. Divorce is easy to say. What about her 4 kids? Could it be that the streamer can't actually do it, and that's why she's refusing? The end. Thanks for reading.